even know at what age or stage or whatever that he actually started to compete with me. I don't know if that was something that was always there, but it was something that the years before I left the church that I just could, like, I just realized. And then after I left the church, I was like, dang, this man really is trying to compete with me. And then it was almost like he would take on maybe like characteristics or accomplishments that you were the one who made, right? So you made these accomplishments, but for some reason, he would carry on like he was the one who made the accomplishments, right? Let's say, for instance, after I left the church, right, he goes on his broadcast and he does this whole series about like anger. He started this mess when we were still in church. And it was like, dude, how are you preaching, teaching about anger, and you're the angriest one in here? Like, you're the one who's always raging out. Like, you're literally like yelling at us in sermons and all kind of carrying on. And I already know from growing up with you that anger is like, that's your thing, right? That's your main characteristic. That's your main emotion. He started doing this series about anger management. Like, in a series with advice that he clearly didn't take, okay? You need to be preaching to yourself first, okay? Take your own advice first, and then come back to us and let us know how that worked out for you. You know what I mean? Because he was like the angriest one. And then even Olivia, she since passed away. That was my girl, y'all. She was like, why is he trying to... Once we finally got close, because he kept trying to keep us from getting close. So he would always run some type of interference between me and her. But eventually we connected despite him. And we would even like sometimes meet up here at my house, or we would just talk on the phone or whatever. And one day she was like, he's teaching this whole series about anger management, and he's the angriest one. He's the angriest person in this church. And not only that, she was like, and it's making me angry. It's making me angry that the angriest person in here is really trying to teach us about anger. Like, what in the world? But this was his thing. He said, God has made me to be a counselor. God has made me to be a counselor. Oh, okay. See, I went to school for it, right? I have a bachelor's degree and 2 master's degrees, right? One in public administration and business, and one in clinical mental health counseling. And this man is literally like telling me in church, trying to preach like he's some type of counselor from God about anger management, while he is still the most angry person you'll probably ever meet. Of course, he puts on his mask and you think that it's not really that. But if he said this, God made me to be a counselor. There's some of us who actually go to school to perfect this craft, this calling, or whatever it is that you want to say it is. And we have a board of ethics. We have standards that we have to go by. There's a protection code for people that we serve and that we say that we're trying to help. What standards do you have as this God-made pastor, God-made counselor? Do you have a board of ethics? Do you have any type of standards that you go by to ensure that you are doing right and telling the right thing to the people that you are supposed to serve? Who holds you accountable? Because some of us went to school. Some of us took tests, like me, who's a nationally certified counselor. But see, he's one of those that will be like, okay, my daughter is a counselor. She went to school for it. She studied hard and long for the exam that a lot of people don't pass on the first try, and some people don't pass ever. She studied for it. She took the exam, passed it on the first try. But God made me to be a counselor. So therefore, that somehow trumps everything that you have worked hard for. If you are called or purposed by God to do something, why wouldn't you go to school? Why wouldn't you study? Why wouldn't you perfect that gift and that calling that you claim God gave you? No, instead, you're up here telling us, you angry. You angry. You need to get that anger about you. While you're the angriest one. It's weird. But y'all know there's so many of them like this.